In Berkeley, California lies People's Park. In many ways, it's a typical park with its swaying trees and its swings and slides, yet wealthy upper class and struggling college students alike avoid its inviting greenery. Owned by the University of California, People's Park took shape in 1969 when a community decided to build a public park on what had 13 years been an empty, dilapidated mess. A breeding ground for political activism in the 60s and 70s, People's Park has maintained its progressive politics, but no longer attracts the youthful, outspoken students it once did.
It's like the university has classes and they make this a taboo place. And so when the Telegraph Business Association came out with their recommendation and they said they want to make this user-friendly to students, we say we agree with that. We want the students here. It's you that's demonizing it, keeping the students away.
It's just not a cesspool of crime here. It's the People's Park and we're trying to keep it that way.
The brazen exploitation of the lower class is a fact well reflected in People's Park.
You know, our police of today are victimizing people, making up sort of like, lies about certain people they don't like because they want a lot of homeless people completely out of these communities.
Well, they come by at different series of the day. Usually they come by when we're serving. So they want to create an atmosphere of non-community, always getting people on edge.
There's a certain amount of, they want a certain amount of arrests so they can say there's a certain problem, which gets them their jobs and something to do.
They say much worse is happening in some of these frat houses than in the park.
Well, they arrested me a couple of years ago for painting slogans on the free speech stage. So I was in court with the University of California for yeah, they were they charging me with vandalizing the free speech stage, which I built and maintained for 20 years.
Many people don't realize the benefits of the park to the community.
Food Not Bombs has been serving here for 20 years. 20 years, right? This is almost a miracle, right? And it couldn't have done it if the park wasn't here, right? It wasn't the physical site or location, but rather that we're providing something that people really need.
While there is certainly a homeless population in the park, the majority are quiet, peaceful people. People's Park was built by a caring community, and if it is to survive, the community now must continue that care.
I think a lot of the bad things that people say about the park are grossly exaggerated. People tend to do that, they exaggerate things. But I haven't seen anything negative myself, and I come down here a couple times a week.
The way around it is we have to organize again. Everybody's got to jump in a union and collective solutions. That's the key thing. Where like we're doing this thing down there together. Individually, you couldn't do it. Like on campus, you have all those tables that are all religious and they're all into tutoring, and they might get together and party or something, but collectively, if they got together and wanted to make change, they could just do everything they wanted to. But they all have their own little bureaucracy, their own little people that get privileged, they have their own leadership, so nobody wants to give up that.
So this is more of a lower income, more diversified, but almost all the students and all the people who buy into the lies of this park are down there. So it's a tale of two different parks. Kind of, that's the professional park down there, and this is the People's Park. This is the most used park in the city of Berkeley, but it's the least funded. So this is a community park.